It's my first time doing a challenge in a while. Let's see how well an old dog like Lantern can hold up against all these sweet new decks. Hello y'all, welcome to Fate Seal MTG. I am Krex, your host. Today I am doing a proper tournament. This is a Modern Challenge 64 that is starting in, checks notes, 3 minutes. So I figured I'd record a very quick deck tech for you. This is more or less the same list that I played in League 32, so go check out that video if you haven't yet. I have cut the cute fun of Cling to Dust in favor of just a second removal spell in the main deck, and I have 2 more Assassin's Trophies in my sideboard, bringing my grand total all the way up to 4. And I have eliminated the Mycosynth Gardens in favor of a Darkmoor Pathway. Figured that if I'm going to be playing all of these trophies and these Ashiok Dream Renders, I would want access to a little bit more black than I have now. Other than that, I feel like this is a fairly responsible, no-nonsense Lantern control list if you're looking to play a traditional build. I've got a whole sideboard guide that is attached to the primer of this deck. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and jump straight into the tournament. I'll see y'all in round 1. Okay, we are on the play in round 1 versus OkoDio. Oh wait, no, we're not on the play. Never mind. We were on the draw. I guess I got a little bit too excited here. You know, my opponent has spent 40 seconds doing nothing. 45 seconds. And now they've spent 50 seconds doing nothing. Which means that if they do that exact same thing, except multiplied by a certain number, then I will win the match. Oh, full minute. All right. If they spend a full minute times 25 doing exactly what they're doing right now, then I will win the match. We take those. All right, we've opened up a pretty decent opening hand. This hand has a clear progression. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Swamp, Profane Tutor. I can Inquisition an answer to something later on. I actually might lead off of an Inquisition, honestly. We'll just have to see how this plays out. It'll depend on what their turn 1 play is. But this is a snap keep. Even if Pithing Needle is dead, I don't think it's really going to matter all that much. I will keep my hand. Boros HQ is their only land for turn. There's an Ensnaring Bridge. All right, well, that made this whole thing just a little bit easier, I think. We are playing against Control. Well, my Otawara gets stopped by Needle. Consult the Star Charts gets stopped by IOK now. Prismatic Ending gets stopped by Thoughtseize later. I think I will just take Consult the Star Charts. Scalding Tarn is down. That is a land that they did not show me, so I know what their draw for turn is now. Let's go ahead, fetch out a basic Swamp here, and suspend Profane Tutor. Leave that Spell Snare stranded in their hand, yes? They've shown me an additional color. Alright. 1 unknown card in their hand now. I think this is a decent time to go... do I go Inquisition or do I go Thoughtseize? I might just Inquisition here. I already know that I want to be taking that Prismatic Ending. Do I lead on Stirrings? I might lead on Stirrings, because if I hit an Urza Saga, then I think that would be best for me. I did not hit an Urza Saga, but I did hit a Fomori Vault. Do I want the Fomori Vault now? And start digging to additional mill rocks off of the power of Vault? Or do I want to just take the Pyxis? I think I'm going to just take the Pyxis. And then I will play out my land. Go ahead and grab another basic Swamp. And I will Inquisition them here. Another Consult the Star Charts, huh? They opted to allow me to take it instead of simply casting it. I guess that's fair. I will actually take the Consult. And I will play out a Pyxis of Pandemonium. If this eats a Prismatic Ending, that's gonna kinda suck, but it's not gonna be that bad. My opponent has not played a threat, so I don't need to play this Ensnaring Bridge. Otawara played as a land is pretty good news. Tells me that maybe they drew another Consult the Star Charts. That would be a lot. Go ahead and cast this. And I will actually grab... Do I grab Lantern of Insight here? Or do I grab Urza Saga and start beating down? I don't think I need to do that. That was a pretty bad draw. I'll Thoughtseize our opponent again. Wow. Yeah, Wrath of the Skies was a pretty good hit on my opponent's part. Let's go ahead and take that. Didn't have room to take the Prismatic Ending here. That's unfortunate. But notably, our opponent doesn't really have much going on here. So I think I'm just going to hold these cards in my hand. They got a Plains. Now, it's entirely possible that they hold the Prismatic Ending, but they're choosing not to do that. They have a counterspell on top of their deck. They're choosing to exile my Pyxis here. How do I feel about this? I think I am going to exile. Kind of trying to dig to a little bit more action, you know? Well, Teferi's not actually that bad because I have the Pithing Needle for it. Okay, that's fine. Don't really need more discard right now. Subtlety, I don't really care about. Teferi Time Raveler, where is that? There it is. I'm gonna continue holding cards. I don't need to cast anything right now. Spell Snare only hits a very small portion of my deck. They're gonna go ahead and hard cast that Solitude, try to get the beats down. That's fine. Alright, Lantern of Insight is down. Ensnaring Bridge is down. And now if I find any Millrock, then I'm in pretty dang good shape. But I do need to find a Millrock before they hit like a Wrath of the Skies or something really nasty. I'm going to hold this Pithing Needle. Ooh, that was a good hit. Urza Saga is very good for me here. And my opponent is continuing to just flail on draws. I think they're just going to drop the Teferi Time Raveler because they have nothing else to do. Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry, opponent. I have nothing else to do either. Just playing my land drops. Just like you. Now, they are going to get a shuffle here, presumably for a... Yeah, that's fine. And Quantum Riddler. Do I want them having a Quantum Riddler? I don't believe so. I think Quantum Riddler is going to be too difficult for me to deal with. Wow, and they had one anyway. Do I want to sacrifice my Lantern of Insight here? If I do, and they top deck Wrath of the Skies, then I'm just pretty much toast, right? I think I might not have a choice. I think Quantum Riddler, just on average, does so much damage. They can actually, this turn, Subtlety, Exile, Spell Snare, Quantum Riddler, and then Ephemerate Quantum Riddler, and that just draws them a ton of cards. Yeah, I need to shuffle. They need to shuffle. That sucks. Just 2 good draws in a row. That's all it took. I needed more of a lock here. All right. And they did brick. I need them to brick for just a little longer. Did they hit something good? That concerns me. That really concerns me. That concerns me. Wrath of the Skies for 3. Yeah, they hit. Ah, they hit. Okay. Well, there's not much I can do about this, right? I create a construct, it just dies immediately. Okay. Yep, that's my whole board gone. I don't think I'm going to win this anymore. I literally just needed 1 turn there. I mean, I've needed a lot of turns, but I also needed that turn. Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and cycle their Teferi while they still can. And there's a Pyxis on top of my deck here. Okay. I can Thoughtseize them, but that does actually materially change my clock. I think I'm going to just drop Needle into Teferi again. Do I drop Pyxis as well? Yeah, I'll go ahead and drop Pyxis as well, just in case. And now I have a lot of problems. I need to find another Ensnaring Bridge. I need to find another Lantern of Insight before they start drawing out of this, and they are drawing out of it. Ancient Stirrings, that's a good hit. That's an Ensnaring Bridge. I could grab Urza's Saga, which does a decent Ensnaring Bridge impression, and doesn't die to Prismatic Ending. But then their Subtlety has Flying, and they would just kill me with that. In fact, they could put me to 1 here. I think I just need the Ensnaring Bridge, which is really unfortunate. If Subtlety didn't have Flying, then there's a chance that I might take Urza's Saga. Interesting. What are they doing? Oh, it's a Force of Negation? Well, I could have Thoughtseized them. Okay, you know what? I think that's pretty good for game. Unfortunate, but it happens. I could have Thoughtseized them there, and I could have dropped that Ensnaring Bridge, and maybe they would have bricked a little longer, and I would have drawn a Lantern of Insight or something. Or I could have drawn Codex Shredder into Urza's Saga. Wow, yeah, okay. Yeah, I would have needed them to brick for a little longer, but Thoughtseizing them there. I had the Thoughtseize, I just didn't use it. Okay, well, we go ahead and start sideboarding against them. I don't have a sideboard guide for this particular deck, but I know that Duresses are coming in. I know that Grafdigger's Cage is coming out, and the Underworld Cookbook is coming out. Those 2 cards are just not useful for this particular matchup. Now, beyond that, do I want anything else? I have a feeling that they might have Stony Silences, maybe a Clarion Conqueror. I don't want to be siding down on Assassin's Trophies. Ashiok isn't particularly useful. Torpor Orb isn't particularly useful. They've got the Elementals. I don't really care about those. They're just beat sticks. So Torpor Orb would actually make it harder for me to handle the Elementals because they could just pitch cast them and they stick around. I think I'm not going to sideboard too much. I think I'm just going to upgrade my Cage and Cookbook into Duresses. I will be on the play. This hand is pretty bad. It's got 5 lands. If I draw another land, then I'm just flooded forever. None of my 5 lands even do anything. No Urza's Saga, no Fomori Vault. I'm going to mulligan here. This hand is better. I will keep it, and I will bottom... Do I bottom a Blooming Marsh? Under the expectation that I draw an additional land somewhere? Or do I bottom a Codex Shredder? I think I might bottom the Codex Shredder. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. That is a Pithing Needle. I'm gonna duress my opponent, see what they're working with here. That is a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Here's what I could do. I could take the counterspell, Pithing Needle the Jace the Mind Sculptor, and then Teferi bounces the Pithing Needle, and then I probably don't land it again. I could take the counterspell. I could Needle Teferi, and then Jace digs out of it. I could take Teferi, Pithing Needle Jace, die to a Prismatic Ending that they rip off the top. I think that might be better than what I'm working with right now. And the counterspell could trade for an Ensnaring Bridge, possibly. I think I'm going to try that, because Teferi does remove the ability for me to cast my Profane Tutors. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. So I took the Teferi Time Raveler. They went and grabbed a tapped land. I wouldn't have named their land anyway, but that's still good to do. Alright, Jace the Mind Sculptor is down. I don't think I've actually seen what the forest is in their deck for. So they played a Mystic Gate, and they're holding open Counterspell. I think now I attempt to trade Ensnaring Bridge for Counterspell. Are they biting? They are biting. They did bite. Okay, that's fantastic. So that's 2 draws that they've taken that I don't know about. Plains is down. Looks like they have a Prismatic Ending. They're just not using it. That is a Quantum Riddler that they are casting with Warp. Another reason to keep in those Assassin's Trophies. And they're ephemerating their Quantum Riddler. Okay, yep, that's a lot of cards that they're drawing. I'm going to save that land. Wow, and that just straight up whiffed. Just stone cold nothing. All right. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to lose my first match here. Do they even ephemerate here? Or do they just attack me? They are ephemerating. Okay. So they're going to draw a ton of stuff here. Scalding Tarn playing the land that I knew about. I'm going to grab that Overgrown Tomb. And we are in bad shape. We're definitely in bad shape. All right, well, I don't think that I'm going to win this. I will still play it out just in case a miracle happens. They are grabbing a Surveil land here. They kept it on top. Go ahead and exile that. Yeah, there's just no way on earth that I win from this spot. They've drawn so many cards that I don't know about, just completely uncontrolled. And I am sitting here with 6 lands and a lantern. Now, the question is, do I play this out now? Or do I hope to draw a counter spell of some kind? Hope to draw a discard spell of some kind to get rid of a counter spell in their hand? I think I'm just going to play it. I think I'm just going to play it. But frankly, I have a ton of problems that need to be solved here. And I don't think that it really matters what I do. Unless all 5 of those cards in their hand are bricks, then I'm in pretty bad shape. I am going to play out my Verdant Catacombs, and I'm going to pass turn. Ephemerate. And now we begin solving problems. That is a Quantum Riddler. I don't believe that I have a meaningful way to handle this. Because here's the bind that my opponent has put me in. If I Pyxis right now, then they simply ephemerate the Quantum Riddler that they already have in play, and they draw that Wrath of the Skies anyway, with enough mana to cast it for X=1, which wipes my board. If I do nothing, then they just draw it. If I Lantern them, same exact thing. So I have to Pyxis then Lantern, which costs me a card. Meanwhile, they're going up on cards. I think I'm kind of priced into it, though. Yeah, this is a really bad spot for me to be in. When this creature enters, draw a card. Not Wrath of the Skies, hopefully. And I'm not going to draw that... Ephemerate's not in their hand anymore. I'm not going to draw that Thoughtseize. Alright. Go ahead and grab my basic Forest, I guess. Doesn't change the clock. And I draw another land. Okay. This game is wrapped up. I fought my best fight, but quite frankly, I just think I wasn't really getting anywhere. I might have had a chance in the first game if I had utilized my Thoughtseize correctly. But I think the second game was a complete wash. I don't think that there was anything that I was going to do about that. Oh well, it happens. Let's go ahead and move on to round 2.
I hope you're enjoying the video. If you like watching my particular style of content, consider subscribing so you can get notified of my videos and live streams. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we are on the draw in round 2 versus Wall of Spikes. Do I want to keep this hand? This hand has 1, maybe 2-ish dead cards in it. And if I don't see a land in my next 2 draws, then I'm in pretty big trouble. About a 50-50 chance that that happens. I think I'm going to mulligan. Yeah, this hand is just much better. I will keep this. I will bottom the Pithing Needle. Basic Plains pass, huh? I will go ahead and fetch my Overgrown Tomb. Field of Ruin, Field of Ruin, Field of Ruin, Plains, Reprieve, White Orchid Phantom. Wow. Oh my god. Maybe I should not have bottomed that Pithing Needle, huh? Well, I'm gonna take the White Orchid Phantom here. Begging for a top deck Pithing Needle. Just absolutely begging for it. That is a Forest. I think I still play out my Urza Saga. Fire off another Inquisition here. Reprieve again. That's fine. Triple Field of Ruin, everybody. Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and activate that. I will fetch my basic Swamp here. They grabbed a Mountain. Interesting. I think I'm going to play out my Forest and play a Lantern off of that. Inspiring Vantage off the top of their deck. Cleansing Wildfire, Reprieve. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that, I'll go ahead and take the Reprieve. Do I also want to take the Cleansing Wildfire? I think not. I think I'm going to hold my Inquisition. Okay. Now the question is, do they want to hit this Overgrown Tomb with this Field of Ruin, force me to shuffle? get rid of that ensnaring bridge? And the answer is no. The answer is not in that phase. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. All right. The good thing I play so many basics. Wow, it is destroy target land, huh? I will use the ability to shuffle. That's okay. What did they draw? It's like a basic land or something, wasn't it? I'm gonna put plains as the placeholder, but you never know. Okay, so this is very interesting. This is very interesting. So, I have the option of playing out Pyxis now. If I play out Pyxis now, then that means I'm likely never playing Ensnaring Bridge for the rest of the game, but it would protect me against whatever their top card after this Geomancer's Gambit resolves is. I think I'm gonna chicken out. I think I'm gonna play the Ensnaring Bridge. They have to win somehow, and I don't know how that is yet. And I kind of just want the bridge in play just in case. Their controller may search their library for a basic battle land card. I'm not going to use that ability. Geomancer's Gambit. White Orchid Phantom. White Orchid Phantom is coming down. And I'm not going to use this ability either. Alright, so that means that I know exactly what they have in their hand now. I'm going to take a little bit of damage from this White Orchid Phantom. I think that's okay. I have a basic swamp in play. Field of Ruin is down. Demolition Field, Inspiring Vantage, Path to Exile in hand. I'm going to just continue to play out my cards. Probably should have played out a Codex Shredder there, honestly, because I have the Blooming Marsh on top of my deck. But it doesn't matter. Field of Ruin is their draw. They play it immediately, and I think I'm actually in really good shape here. I'm going to play out this Blooming Marsh and immediately use it to cast Codex Shredder. And we're set. I think this is game. Really glad that I decided to play the Ensnaring Bridge when I did. Yeah, I'm going to lose that Blooming Marsh. That's fine. This Urza Saga is definitely never sticking around. Yeah, I don't care about that. Okay. Demolition Field is down. And I'm going to start exiling things. I'm going to try and win this game. Yeah, I don't think I need Pithing Needles right now. Oh, that's a nice card to have. I'll go ahead and take it from you. All right. I will simply pass turn here. Just got the free shuffle. I don't think I need them drawing a reprieve. I will take that reprieve, actually. Mana Tithe is fine. And I think I'm at the point here. Oh yeah, I definitely don't want that Assassin's Trophy. To where I will just Inquisition my opponent. Probably actually myself. I'll go ahead and exile here, actually. Do I really care if it's a Geomancer's Gambit or not? I'm gonna go down to 0 lands. Is that even really relevant? I think I will mill them 1. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm going to Inquisition myself, and I'm going to discard this Thoughtseize that I drew. It just doesn't matter anymore. They're mana tithing. Wow, what a situation to be in, huh? They are exiling their own creature, trying to get a shuffle. Yeah, that's fine. Cleansing Wildfire. They're gonna put me down to 0 lands. And that's the Wrath of the Skies that I really didn't want them to have. All right. Blooming Marsh. I'm gonna hold that, actually. I'm gonna hold the Blooming Marsh. They can't destroy a land that's in my hand, right? And I have a feeling that that Wrath of the Skies is the out that they were trying to dig to. Yeah, let's just go ahead and start exiling here. Okay. That's fine. Ooh, a Mox Opal. I think I'm gonna keep that. There we go. And we got the win. That was nice. All right, let's go ahead and sideboard against this deck. Now, what do I fear out of this deck? They are going to have an inordinate amount of hate for my lands. So I need to be very, very careful about things that cost multiple pips. So these Assassin's Trophies, for example. I think I want the Pithing Needle. I think I might also actually want the Underworld Cookbook in. So the Grafdigger's Cage is coming out. What else do I want? Do I want additional discard? And if so, what do I bring in? What do I cut for it? The Mox Opal's too important. I could go down an Ensnaring Bridge. I don't know if that's correct to do. They had a decent number of threats, and they could be siding into more threats in the sideboard. I don't think I want to go down on bridges. I could go down on Profane Tutors. I could cut, for example, a single Profane Tutor and a Mishra's Bauble. Bring in Duresses. Is that even where I want to be? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want the Duresses, though. I want them pretty badly. Do I want them badly enough that I'm willing to side out Assassin's Trophies? Like, what if they just have Clarion Conqueror? I think I need the third needle. All right, I think I'm going to trim. I think I'm going to trim these consistency pieces, and I'm going to bring in Duresses. I don't know if this is correct or not. This hand... It has Lantern Pyxis in it. It has discard in it. It has 2 stirrings that can find additional lands. But I worry about the pacing. I think it might be a bit slow. I think I'm gotta keep it. I think I'm gonna keep it. They kept 6. Sunken Citadel on white is pretty bad news for me, I think. Drawing that land was huge. There's a very good chance that I literally just lead on a fetch land and just don't play anything this turn. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, they kept up Demolition Field. So that only targets non-basic lands. So what I can do here is I can... Oh, I should have waited. I can fetch this forest. Yeah, I should have waited till my main phase to do that. And then this Chromatic Vista can fetch my swamp. And then I can use swamp to cast Duress. And then I can use forest to cast Lantern. Yeah, they just have Clarion Conqueror in hand. Well, that sucks. Huh, what do I do here? I think obviously it's got to be Wrath of the Skies, right? I think I'm going to take the Wrath of the Skies. But that Clarion Conqueror is pretty bad. Makes me wish I had suspended Profane Tutor this turn. I could simply cast an Ancient Stirrings. I think I'm going to do that. Probably digging for land here. Pithing Needle is a very interesting pickup. Pithing Needle is a very interesting pickup. What does that stop? That would stop the Demolition Field on the battlefield. Hopefully that doesn't matter to you that much that there's someone whose car alarm is going off right now. Oopsie. I could just grab the guaranteed land here. I could grab the Codex Shredder and just play directly into Clarion Conqueror. I think I'm going to... Is there really even a difference between grabbing Pithing Needle and grabbing a land? I think I'm gonna grab the Pithing Needle, actually. That was a really interesting play, though. It's possible that that was wrong. Sacred Foundry down. Clarion Conqueror down. Wow! Not Clarion Conqueror. Yeah, I will go ahead and grab that basic swamp. That is an Assassin's Trophy. I will go ahead and drop this Pithing Needle now. Demolition Field. And now the question is, do I fetch and suspend Profane Tutor? Or do I not do that? Do I just hold open Assassin's Trophy? I have a feeling that I need to protect this Bloodstained Mire. I'm going to lead on Lantern here. Sunken Citadel is fine. I think they might be going after my lands here. Not necessarily dropping that Clarion Conqueror right away. That's worrisome. Draw a card, huh? Interestingly enough, they do not have any threats, and the only threat that they do have can be gotten by my Assassin's Trophy. They may just be trying to run me out of lands here so that they can land their Clarion Conqueror. Cleansing Wildfire is down. I think their Geomancer's Gambit might also be down. I think they might have an unknown in hand, but that unknown might be Plains. I'm not sure. I will allow this to happen. I will use the ability because I don't want Bridge. And then they drew another Geomancer's Gambit. All right. And now these stirrings in hand are kind of a wash. I am going to play out this Pyxis, and I'm going to attempt to get some draw control started. Demolition Field is their draw. If they are going to continue to just blow up lands, then I can continue to use Pyxis to attempt to dig myself into more. I think I will exile here. I don't want them having that Mana Tithe. Omori Vault is a good pickup, I think. Demolition. Geomancer's Gambit is down. Destroy target land. May search for a basic. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let this happen, and I'm not gonna search. Sunken Citadel is down. I cannot afford for them to have a second Clarion Conqueror, I think. And now, if I recall correctly, I have successfully run them out of land destruction spells. So I will use this opportunity to suspend a Profane Tutor. And I will exile with Pyxis. Okay, another Demolition Field. Yeah, that Pithing Needle is really saving my butt here. Demolition Field is down. I think they play Clarion Conqueror now. Yeah, that's fine. I draw the Thoughtseize. I'm going to play out an Ancient Stirrings. I found an Ensnaring Bridge. Do I want that, or do I just want the land? I think I just want the land, honestly. I'm going to take the Dark War Pathway. That fetch land is a trap right now. I'm going to play this on green, and I'm going to attempt to find another land. Blooming Marsh was a fantastic pickup. Okay. We are doing more or less okay right now. All right. Clarion Conqueror is down. They still have an unknown in hand, actually. Cleansing Wildfire. Taking my black-green land, drawing into a Castle Ardenvale. That's fine. I'm not going to use the ability. I kind of want the Ensnaring Bridge right now. Castle Ardenvale is down. I'm going to take a hit here. And honestly... Oh, I have a Profane Tutor here. Do I cast it? I could cast it and just find the Ensnaring Bridge off of this Profane Tutor. And I think I will. Oh yeah, more lands. Let's go. Love to see that. Ensnaring Bridge is down. I'm going to continue taking hits. They are going to create a token here. Magmatic Hellkite is going to be in their hand. I'm going to read that. I can't read it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. They're going to hit that land. I'm going to just shuffle. I'm taking 4 here. Okay. And now I'm going to play my Blooming Marsh untapped. I'm going to play this Codex Shredder. I am going to, at some point here, Magmatic Hellkite is down. I think that Demolition Field might be down too. So I think they might still have an unknown in hand. But I think I'm doing okay now. White Orchid Phantom. If they play that, then I trophy their Conqueror in response. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and trophy their Conqueror in response. All right. That is really, really good for me. That allows me to dig for more black lands. Okay, I think I will actually shuffle here. I'm taking 6. I'm at 6. I'm going to take 3. So I get 2 more draws here before I need to empty my hand. In those 2 draws, I need to find a swamp or black producing land of some kind. That's an Urza Saga. If that Urza Saga survives, then I will be able to grab a Mox Opal. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that might be a bit unrealistic. I'm going to exile with Pyxis here. Yikes! There's a decent chance that I lose this. All right. Do I even have any fetchables left in my deck? I don't. So this is not the land that I need. I am going to fall to 1 here. And they're going to exile their creature, try to find a good draw on top of their deck. They actually don't want to cast that right now, because that gives me a shuffle. No land cards to search for. Oh, Ancient Stirrings would have actually been a pretty good hit. All right. So I think they just have Demolition Field in their hand, but I'm not sure. 4, then 1. And now I need to find a Mox Opal, a black producing land of some type. Exile with Pyxis first. That was the draw I needed. Looming Marsh, Inquisition of Kozilek, targeting myself. Discard that Thoughtseize. And now, unless this card in hand isn't Demolition Field, then I'm in pretty good shape. They're playing that Sunken Citadel. My cat is just going wild. Sir, this is a Wendy's. You can't do that here. All right, whatever. I am going to take that Reprieve. Oh, that's a Flage. Yeah, I'm really glad that I decided to not cut my Ensnaring Bridges. Yeah, that's a Demolition Field. Okay, so Pyxis will exile that big boy Flage, and I'm just going to have to cope with this Mana Tithe. And I think my opponent is dead here, actually. I'm going to go ahead and play this Pyxis. Mana Tithe it if you want. I will be taking this Reprieve, by the way. But I just didn't want to do it right then. I'm going to do it on their upkeep. It's just a good practice to get into. That Reprieve is... Ooh, Mox Opal on top of my deck. Yeah, White Orchid Phantom is fine. That Reprieve is worse than Mana Tithe because it returns the spell to my hand and it allows these tokens to attack underneath bridge. I may search. I will not search. I will go ahead and mill you. Basic Plains. Yeah, Mox Opal. Basic Plains is played. I'm gonna have an opportunity to just run Urza's Saga to completion here. I have 23 cards in deck, they have 25. I'm not particularly worried about losing the game at this point. I kind of don't want to have an I lose button on my battlefield. I kind of don't want to have that in my hand, though. So I think I will exile here. That's fine, right? Yeah, that's fine. Just gonna go ahead and give up on Urza Saga. I need to be very careful here. That was probably a little bit too aggressive. I should have kept the fetch land on top of my deck, I think. All right. Geomancer's Gambit. I think they just hold that, right? Yeah, they're holding it as a cycle. That's the correct thing to do, I think. Okay, I will go ahead and grab another Pyxis. I'll play Underworld Cookbook, and now I don't even care if I don't have any lands. I don't care if this Mox Opal's gone. I just discard everything. All right, exile. Exile. Milieu. Oh, I didn't save targets on that, huh? Save targets, Milieu, and exile. All right. Go ahead and discard this Fomori Vault. This is why I kept that Underworld Cookbook in, is because I can discard cards to it when I can't cast them, when I don't have any lands. It's not particularly relevant right now, but if I was in more of a squeeze, then you can see how it would have been helpful. I think I'm just gonna draw that, cast it, name Field of Ruin. I've got 5 minutes on my clock. I'm not particularly worried. And that was the last draw that my opponent gets for this game. I haven't been keeping track of what they've been drawing. I haven't been keeping track of their hand very well. It just doesn't really matter. It was kind of sloppy of me to do that in the beginning of combat. They could have cycled into a Clarion Conqueror if they had an F6 through their turn. but they didn't. So, whatever. Both of us made a little bit of a messy play there, I think. Okay, and they give up the ghost. Wow, that was down to the wire on that one. 1 life left. Really needed those blooming marshes to carry me. Thanks, blooming marsh. Love you. All right, well, let's go ahead and count this as a win and move on to round 3.
As your loss to Lantern Control left you bitter and despondent, try working through the 5 stages of grief by joining the Fateseal MTG Patreon. Languish in denial with my $2 tier and get access to my Discord community and your name in my video credits. You'll gain more perks as your grief matures, like tournament live streams, lessons on Lantern Control, and office hours with me. Once you reach acceptance, every month you'll get a private session with me and can even feature your own deck here on Fateseal MTG.
Okay, we're actually on the plate this time in round 3 versus Taddy. Oh my god, it's gonna be a Lantern Mirror. Yeah, I would like to play against you. I got paired into Taddy, that's fantastic. Okay, so knowing that this is against Taddy, I think I will keep this hand. The Ensnaring Bridge is dead. Completely dead. This is hilarious. Okay, so turn 1, fetch basic swamp. Inquisition them. Turn 2, I have Darkboard Pathway. I'll also have Fomori Vault as a way to dig to things. I can Pithing Needle a Millrock. I also have an Assassin's Trophy for what it's worth. The Ensnaring Bridge, of course, is dead, but I think that this hand has a decent way to answer their first handful of plays. Dude, this is hilarious. Taddy99 is playing Lantern Control, and they've been playing the Nightlight build of Lantern Control specifically. Been doing pretty well in the challenges, actually. I think I have some of their lists in my channel history somewhere. I'm pretty sure that the 32nd League was one of their decks, I think. Go ahead and Inquisition them. And they are playing Lantern. Oh, that's amazing. So I think that they are on 4 Shredder, 2 Pyxis. So, wow, this is a really good hand to keep. This hand that they kept is probably better than the hand that I kept. I could take their Thoughtseize, but I don't think that's really the play that I want to make. I think I'm going to take their Shredder. And then I will trophy their Pyxis. And then that will leave them with 2 dead interaction cards. And then I'm going to rely on Fomori Vault to carry the way. I think I will do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. What they could do here is they could Thoughtseize my trophy and then Molten Collapse my Needle, and then they would have a Pyxis. Realistically, I think the first person to find an Urza Saga will win this. Yeah, I think that they saw the line. That is a Pyxis of Pandemonium. So that will actually give me a little bit of an edge here. I think I will actually play my Pyxis. I'm gonna hold that Pithing Needle. Discard. I revealed their hand. I should have done this. Blackleaf Cliffs is down. Codex Shredder is down. Thoughtseize is down. They're playing a Bloodstained Mire. That's also down. Yeah, they are leading on their own Pyxis here. That's an Urza Saga. That's really good. Play that as my land for turn ASAP. I'm not going to play this Pithing Needle. Played another Blackleaf Cliffs here. Wow, they found an Ensnaring Bridge. All right, that's fine. Not even going to bother making constructs then. I believe I will play out my Darkboard Pathway as a green land. And I'm going to just cycle this Ensnaring Bridge. Pyxis is down. Ooh, they found a Profane Tutor. That's really good here. Molten Collapse is a bit worrying. I'm not going to create the token. I'm going to just cycle the Ensnaring Bridge. Found an Ancient Stirrings, which is really good for me. That is a Codex Shredder. So I could legitimately here simply overwhelm what they're doing They have Molten Collapse and one Unknown in hand. They have a Profane Tutor that's coming off Suspend. I could attempt to overload them with Mill Rocks. Make it so that they just don't have a shot of realistically using Lantern of Insight to counter what I'm doing. They are not able to remove their own Ensnaring Bridge. I think I'm going to grab my other Codex Shredder here. I will then use this Ancient Stirrings to dig for more stuff. Do I even want Lantern at this point? Lantern would be a Molten Collapse, just an obvious target. I think I just need to build up more Mill Rocks. But if I build up too many Mill Rocks, then that becomes a problem too. I think I'm going to take the Lantern and I'm going to hold it in my hand. I'm not going to necessarily cast it. I'm going to play this Overgrown Tomb tapped, and I'm going to pass turn. I think I need to start milling them out. This game very well may come down to very tight margins on how many lands or how many cards everyone has in their library. Possible that we just end up locking each other out of the game completely, and we just do draw go for the entire game until the game ends. I need to plan for that. If I can mill them twice here, then that should help. Oh, they're starting to adopt the same strategy. Bloodstained Mire, so they only have a Molten Collapse in hand right now. But they have that Profane Tutor that's going to be coming off Suspend here. Okay, and I will start exiling. Just go ahead and start working on it. That is an Assassin's Trophy. That is an Assassin's Trophy. I'm going to play out my Lantern. I can sacrifice this at any time, mostly. Now I need to beat Molten Collapse and Profane Tutor. It'll be very interesting to see what they get off of this Profane Tutor, I think. It'll be very interesting. I have an Assassin's Trophy for basically anything that they could grab. It's possible that they fetch a discard spell. I don't know how good that is. They know that I'm on Assassin's Trophy as my interaction. I posted my list before this tournament started. So they know my exact 75 here. But I don't know their exact 75. I can hazard a guess. I'm just not sure. It's honestly entirely possible that they simply just grab a Codex Shredder here. I believe they know about the Pithing Needle, but not about the Assassin's Trophy. They are really taking a minute here. Do I allow them to draw Blood Moon? I think Blood Moon is fine. Kind of worry about Blood Moon. I'm not going to let them draw that Blood Moon. I want that Primori Vault. Shredder is a little bit annoying. Yeah, I need to take them off Shredder. Another Shredder. All right, that's fine. That is a Pithing Needle. I'm okay with them drawing Pithing Needle. I can trophy that. All right, Pithing Needle. So now they have Molten Collapse, Pithing Needle, and a card that they tutored for off of a Profane Tutor. It could be literally anything. What do they want to be doing here? I think that they might want to start overwhelming my lock. So they need to get more control over the lock than I have right now, which means that they need to either be getting rid of my Mill Rocks or they need to be finding Mill Rocks themselves. So it's entirely possible that they fetched a second Pithing Needle, attempting to name Codex Shredder. It's entirely possible that they fetched a Codex Shredder themselves. I don't believe that they fetched a Lantern of Insight here. I think that they might not have the resources necessary to do that. I don't really know what the correct play would have been in their situation. I don't know what I would have done. They are certainly taking a minute to think about it, though. This is a really tricky position. I don't know what the correct play here would have been. I'm going to have to ask Tatty what they did if I don't find out for some reason. I think I'm going to find out. They are fetching with Bloodstained Mire. They floated 3 mana. Did they really just grab a Blood Moon? They really did just grab a Blood Moon. Unfortunately, they are allowing me to have this Assassin's Trophy. I floated a green, they didn't move phases. I think that might have been an incorrect play. I'm going to allow this Pithing Needle to resolve, They're likely to name Codex Shredder here. And now I'm going to trophy that Pithing Needle. Ooh, an Urza Saga on top of their deck, huh? All right. I'm going to activate this Pyxis. Oh, wait. That was a bad idea. That was a really bad idea. Yeah, that was kind of a bad idea. Because Urza Saga doesn't do anything with Blood Moon in play. So now they have a Molten Collapse. I'm going to see if I can bait them into using that Molten Collapse before I do my thing with Pithing Needle. Snaring Bridge on top of both decks. They're exiling here. Yeah, Urza Saga is actually fine. They have no way of removing that Blood Moon. Urza Saga. I think I'm just going to establish a holding pattern. I don't really think I need to be doing anything right now. My goal is to keep them off of mill rocks and discard and removal, which is, quite frankly, a lot of stuff in their deck. All right, so they are going to destroy my Shredder. I think I let that go. I think I might actually mill myself here. I'm ahead on cards. Oops, I didn't recognize that I had saved targets. Oh well. All right, this Pithing Needle is going to come down. I'm going to name Pyxis with it. Oh, you should not have F6'd, Tatty. There's a Saga in hand. Played immediately. I'm going to clear the targets on this. All right, and I think I am in control of this game now, but only barely. I'm going to have myself mill a card. Trying to dig for more mill rocks. Specifically, my second Codex Shredder is in the bin, actually. So it actually doesn't matter. This is all I'm going to get for the entirety of the game. All right. Need to be very fast about clicking through things here. Yeah, they can't have that Molten Collapse. They also can't have that Pithing Needle, actually. So I think I will do that. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Can't have that Profane Tutor. Yeah, my hand is irrelevant at this point. They're just going to get rid of the discard that I'm holding. Second Blood Moon, don't care about that. They're just playing out their stuff. That's fine. I am going to take that Profane Tutor. They have a Lantern. I guess that's okay. The Mycosynth Gardens doesn't actually hurt here. Yeah, that's fine. Lots of passing back and forth here. Riveting gameplay. Absolutely riveting. Ancient Stirrings, I will fire off. I'm not gonna find anything. Okay. I guess I'll take the Lantern. Empty some cards out. Faster than discarding. Blood Crypt. That's fine. Okay. Here it's all about speed. I think I actually will start milling them out. I don't think that it matters that much. I'll go ahead and play out this Lantern. Definitely don't want them having that Codex Shredder, but I think the game is more or less wrapped up at this point. Literally do not waste time. The whole point of this part of the game is that you're literally just trying to play as fast as possible. Like, none of this matters. Okay, now we'll go ahead and finish the game. Okay, and I win with 14 cards in my deck and 7 in theirs. 0 in theirs. 13 cards in my deck, whatever. Okay, that was, wow. High-octane gameplay right there. The Blood Moons shutting off my Fomori Vault and any sort of interaction that I could have had. I understand the logic behind that. I honestly think that Tatty was just in a really difficult position regardless. But I think that the Blood Moon covered the most angles. Well played, honestly. Completely well played. Now we do a thing. What is bad in this matchup? Ensnaring Bridge is bad. I would rather just have a Pithing Needle and put that on Urza Saga. What else is good? Assassin's Trophy, that's good. Ashiok Dream Render might be good. Duress might be good. What would I be taking out for these cards? Grafdigger's Cage, not necessary. Underworld Cookbook, Underworld Cookbook, not necessary. I could take out 2 Lantern of Insight and just go turbo on everything else, and I think I will. I don't want to side out of Lantern of Insight completely, because if I end up in a scenario in which I have more draw control than my opponent does, then I want to be able to find that Lantern so that I can close out a game. But I don't want 4 Lanterns. I think 2 Lanterns is honestly probably one more than I would have, but my sideboard mapping isn't particularly good here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and run its back. If Taddy manages to protect an Urza Saga with a Blood Moon, by putting 2 counters on it and then slamming Blood Moon, then I'm going to be in pretty tough shape. So this hand has Fomori Vault in it, it has 2 discard spells, it has a Pithing Needle, and it has a Lantern. It's decent enough at dismantling what my opponent is doing, so I think I will keep on the back of that. And the Fomori Vault will help me dig out of situations. I would have rather had a Millrock in hand. They took the Pithing Needle. That worries me. I'm gonna go ahead and fetch my basic swamp here, and I will duress them. Vexing Bauble, huh? Vexing Bauble. I mean, fair. You know I'm playing Mishra's Baubles and Profane Tutors. Bring that in. Unfortunately, it doesn't line up very well against my current hand. My opponent could just suspend Profane Tutor next turn, and I think that's what they ought to do. I think I'm going to take the Profane Tutor. Profane Tutor is down. Of course, they just put Pithing Needle on Pyxis here, so need to find an answer to that. Oh, they needled Fomori Vault. Okay, that's fine. Pithing Needle's down. Gardens is down. Shredder's down. Now I have a very interesting set of plays that I can do. Do I play Lantern into Pyxis? I think I'm going to play Lantern into Pyxis. Oh, man. Shredder being on top of their deck kind of sucks, though, doesn't it? I think I need to play out Pyxis here. That Fomori Vault will... That Mycosynth Gardens will probably copy their Shredder. I'm going to need to find a solution to that at some point here. I think I might have already lost. I think there's a very good chance that I already lost. They don't have the black card. They don't have the black producing land to cast as Ashiok, do they? Otherwise, they would just slam that, right? Ashiok. Oh, they kept in their bridges. They are milling me off of my Urza Saga. I think that is a good plan. They're landing their Vexing Bauble. I don't think I care about Ensnaring Bridge, and I'm okay with drawing a dead draw here. I'm going to play out my Blooming Marsh, and I'm going to Thoughtseize them. Double Ashiok, huh? Yeah, no. Okay. And now we're in a bit of a strange holding pattern, aren't we? They have a draw with this Vexing Bauble that they are using. They're going to draw an Ensnaring Bridge. And this Thoughtseize can take my Mishra's Bauble. They are Thoughtseizing my Mishra's Bauble. Very good sequencing from Taddy here. I am going to attempt to dig myself into some stuff. You gotta take me off this Pithing Needle, friend. I am going to use that, yeah. I have my own Ashiok. They don't have a way to really interact with this. And I believe I actually will use this on them. All right. Very interesting games here. Oh, they milled themselves. Oh, man. I don't think I really care about this Blood Moon. I think I'm going to play my land, and I'm going to pass. Yeah, they're going to make their Shredder here. That's fine. Blood Moon is a dead card. This is still very much anyone's game, I think. We both have 2 Millrocks here. My opponent has 2 Shredders. I have a Shredder. I have a Pyxis and an Ashiok. I am possibly going to come up ahead in the arms race, but I don't actually know. I do know that I want this Codex Shredder, and they have to take me off of it. I want this Pyxis. They have to take me off of it. They let me draw the Pyxis. This fetch land, I think, is just going to sit in play. They're milling me more aggressively. Bloodstained Mire. I think they may be trying to mill me out here. I think that might be their game plan. I am going to activate Pyxis here. Yeah, you cannot have an Urza Saga, friend. Yeah, I'll keep an Ashiok in hand if they'll let me have it. They're not. I will bank a fetch, I suppose. Do I really want them having another Mycosynth Gardens? I don't think so. They can make that into yet a third Shredder, and I just don't think that that's very good. Oh, wait. This Bloodstained Mire can't be activated while I have an Ashiok out. I forgot about that. I think I will still just take stuff off the top of their deck, though. All right, that's fine. Gonna take me off of that Pyxis, and I'm just getting good draws. I'm kind of getting lucky here. Honestly, I'm kind of getting pretty lucky here. My opponent here has had to use a lot of their draw power to keep me off of stuff. Blazemire Verge is fine. And I think I will actually exile here. Ooh, I want that pretty badly, actually. I think I will make my opponent mill me off of it. Oh, man. Yeah, no, I got super lucky here. Super duper lucky. I think I will burn some fetches. Do I even want the land? I think I will get a basic for the first one, and I'm not going to get a basic if I have to fetch with the second one. Okay, they are spinning their wheels, unfortunately, and I found the pithing needle. All right, that's game. Sorry, Tatty. Wow, what an incredible game. Yeah, this is going on Codex Shredder. I am going to nig to them with Ashiok here. Okay, and they have Ensnaring Bridge, Blood Moon, and everything else is pretty much shut off. The only thing they can realistically do here is Lantern of Insight. Have me shuffle, take me off of one thing. But they are down on cards in deck, and I have 3 activations every turn, whereas they only have 0, actually. Molten Collapse is gone, that's gone. Mishra's Bauble is fine. And of course, they're going to make me mill them out, because that is the correct play. The correct way to win against Lantern Control is to make them do it. Make them do it every single time. Not gonna fetch a land here. Dang it. I think I'm gonna mill on the upkeep. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Blood Moon, and their hands are relevant at this point. Hate to say it. Go ahead and just start exiling. I will play this Urza Saga. I will exile their Pyxis. Okay, that's fine. This doesn't really matter. They're going to Blood Moon my Urza Saga. I don't think I care about that. They didn't Blood Moon my Urza Saga. Well, I didn't take their Pyxis, so I think I'm just going to create the token while I can. Go ahead and exile them with Ashiok. Gonna play a Blood Moon. Oh, they're gonna give me the trick. You know what? Tatty, respect. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I love this type of magic. This is what I come here to play. All right, I'm gonna talk with Tatty for a little bit. On to round 3. On to round 4, actually. On to round 4. All right, we have started round 4 versus JoeyNubzy. I will be on the play against you, Joey, with this hand. Wow, yeah, we keep these. This is a hand that you can keep. A legal collection of Magic Gathering cards that are allowed in this format. Urza Saga, Ensnaring Bridge, very good. It's got a discard spell to start out with. The double Pyxis is probably mostly just going to be construct food at this point. My opponent is mulliganing to 6. Unfortunately, I don't know what they're playing, so I can't tell if this Inquisition should be fired off immediately or if I should be holding it until turn 2. I think I will simply play Dark Boar Pathway into Inquisition now, though. Wow! Huh. Do I take the Pinnacle Emissary so that in case they rip here, it's not going to completely screw me over? I think I'm going to do that. If they rip an untapped blue or red source, and they have that Pinnacle Emissary, then they're just off to the races. People in the know will know what this Dark Boar Pathway into an Inquisition means. Urza Saga, Lava Spur Boots, cycling one Mishra's Bauble, looking at their top card, deciding if they want to cycle another one. They do play out the other one, and they're looking at my top card. They're going to draw 2 cards here. Really digging for some lands, I think. Ooh, Profane Tutor. I believe I will suspend that. If my opponent doesn't keep up with Lantern control stuff, then they're going to be very confused right now as to what I'm playing. Oh my goodness, it's just they have no lands. Okay, so they could they could grab a Mox Opal off this Urza Saga here. I think that might be their play. I think I'm going to play out this Mishra's Bauble here, and I'm going to play out the Verdant Catacombs. Do I make constructs, or do I just slam Ensnaring Bridge? I think I'm going to make some constructs. Just in case, I guess. It's kind of surprising to me that they didn't Ornithopter, equip Lava Spur Boots, attack for 1. I feel like they might have wanted to do that. I will grab an Overgrown Tomb here and shock it in. Yeah, they grabbed the Mox Opal. They need that mana right now. They still have 5 cards in hand, none of which I know. That's pretty scary. That is a Pinnacle Emissary cast with Warp. They're now going to play out their entire hand here. And all these tokens have flying, which is really annoying. Yep, Thoughtcast, that's gonna happen. That's it, huh? Yeah, okay. They didn't even manage to equip the Springleaf. They didn't manage to equip the Lava Spur boost to anything. I really think they should have done that last turn. Although I guess they wouldn't have gotten the drone token this turn. Whatever. All right, well, this Profane Tutor is coming off Suspend. There's a chance that I simply grab a Thoughtseize here, clear their hand, then grab a Lantern of Insight, don't even bother making the second construct token, and then just go Pyxis, Pyxis. I think I might do that. I'm at a pretty high life total here. I don't need to land Ensnaring Bridge right now. Ah, well. Or you can just draw another Urza Saga. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. All right, that Urza Saga is obviously getting played. Thoughtseize is good. Galv Blast, Kappa, Kappa. All right, so I see their plan. It's not going to work. And I'm going to go ahead and, just for efficiency's sake, drop the Ensnaring Bridge now. They have a Darksteel Citadel on top of their deck. I don't really care about that. Played it as their land per turn. They can drop a Kappa Cannoneer now. They can actually drop the Pinnacle Emissary now. Interesting. They're going to go ahead and do the Kappa right now. Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's go ahead and suspend this Profane Tutor and then cast a Pyxis. I'm going to take a very small amount of damage here. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, my opponent's 6 just simply did not function. I think they might have had to mold a 5 there. And I just had all the time in the world to get my stuff set up. There's the Pinnacle Emissary from Exile. Yeah, this is all fine. I'm going to take 1 damage here. Yeah, I don't care. Profane Tutor's on Suspend. Go ahead and Urza Saga. I will simply grab Pyxis and play out this Pyxis, play out this Blooming Marsh, and we're set. Okay. Ornithopter. I'm going to keep the Galvanic Blast up, but the rest of their hand is just irrelevant. Yeah, my opponent's just spinning their wheels for no reason at this point. Exile. Exile. Definitely exile that. Thoughtcast. I don't even really care about Galvanic Blast on top of their deck. I'm going to fall to 6. 6 is not 0. Yeah, I want that Lantern, so I'm going to draw that. And I will cast this, try to speed up my clock a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and grab another Pyxis. I don't really need to worry about it that much. Bobble. And I have 4 Pyxides in play as after I cast this, and there's a difference in cards of 2, so it's not actually going to be relevant. Yeah, they're just blasting me. They're going to draw another Galvanic Blast here in a second. I will keep that Shredder. Go ahead and save targets on this. And with 5 Milrocks in play, I'm really not worried about them drawing enough runners in a row to meaningfully interact with my lock. Like, if they have a cranial plating, do I care about that? I do actually care about that, because they can instant speed equip that to an Ornithopter. Yeah, that's fine. So, like, they had a runner on top of their deck after I milled everything completely, and it just didn't matter. I've still got a super big lock here. Gonna go ahead and speed up the clock just a little bit. Oh, come on, come on. There we go. All right. And I will exile again. Okay, that's fine. Nothing in here can draw that cranial plating, so I don't care. Look at all of this life that Ensnaring Bridge is saving for me. Thanks, Ensnaring Bridge. Okay. Oops. Suppose I'm going to keep that upkeep stop there. It might save me from a mistake. Because my opponent is continuing to play things, they are actually down on clock versus me. That's wild. Grab. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to grab anything. Targeting myself because my hand is empty and the UI prompt for picking a card doesn't come off when your hand is empty. Oh, that's a Mishra's Bauble that I let them draw. That could be annoying. That could be something, potentially. Gonna have to be slightly careful here. Don't think it matters. Yeah, that's an Otawara on top of their deck. I just exile that. Mishra's Bauble is not an instant speed draw. It's just a one-time additional draw, but I know the timing of it. It's very predictable. Play that land, pass turn. And they have to pop that Bauble now. Yeah, that's fine. Mem Knight is a fine draw. And honestly, at this point, Urza Saga is fine too. They can't do anything with an Urza Saga, and I win the match. Okay, we take those wins. Oh, so versus Affinity. Do I even have a game plan versus Affinity? Do I have a game plan versus Affinity? No, I do not have anything in my sideboard guide about Affinity. In fact, I haven't had anything in my sideboard guide about any of these decks. So, what do I want? Grafdigger's Cage comes out. They had a bunch of Pinnacle Emissaries. They had 8 casts. They had Otawara. They had Urza Saga. They had Cranial Plating. I think the Pithing Needle stays in. I might even bring in a third Pithing Needle. I feel like that's going to find a target. Underworld Cookbook might be relevant. I could side grade my trophies into Fatal Pushes. Do I think that's going to be a big deal? I think I will try it. I could side grade my trophies into Duresses. That would handle the occasional counterspell. That would handle Sink into Stupor. I don't think I saw a Sink into Stupor. But what does Fatal Push hit? They have Thought Monitors, Kappa Cannoneers, Pinnacle Emissaries, which Fatal Push would have to be revolted to even hit. I don't know. I feel like Fatal Push would be extremely situational. I think I'm going to side out my Fatal Pushes, actually, and I'm going to bring in Duresses. Ooh, what about Toxic Deluge? I think I'm going to bring in my Toxic Deluge. I'm going to bring in those Toxic Deluges so that I can mop up a board full of 1/1s, Pinnacle Emissaries, and tokens, and Thought Monitors. Do I keep this hand? My opponent has Snap Mulligan to 6. I could keep this hand off of the strength of Toxic Deluge, mopping up an early play, and Inquisition taking them off of a later play, but after that, it has nothing. I think I'm going to Mulligan. This is a much better hand. I'm going to keep this. I will bottom one of the Stirrings. I just have a feeling that Pithing Needle is going to be relevant. Like, I can throw that Pithing Needle on an Urza Saga, for example. Basic Island into Warped Pinnacle Emissary. Yep. Mox Opal's already turned on. Springleaf Drum. Yeah, they're doing it. They're doing a thing. Glad I've got that Ensnaring Bridge. Second Pithing Needle. What about second Pithing Needle? What do I really fear at this point? I am afeared of Cranial Plating. I think I am afeared of Cranial Plating. I think I will put down a Pithing Needle on Cranial Plating just as the thing that kills me right now, you know? So I will do that. But I'm not feeling particularly good about this game. They can already... Yeah, that Urza Saga, that's got to be needled too. Fortunately, I have a needle for it. Yeah, they can already cast the Pinnacle Emissary from exile, and I think they might be doing that. Oh, that's a 3/3. That's not a 2/2. Oof. Yeah, I'm taking some damage here. They're only attacking with 2 of their drones. I don't know why. That's down. Do I want to cast Ancient Stirrings right now? I kind of need the 3rd land. And of course I found an Urza Saga. Well, that's what I get for playing out the Primori Vault. I really should not have done that. I could grab Lantern of Insight, but I'm not going to be casting that anytime soon. I think I'm just going to take the Urza Saga, and I'm just going to put a Pithing Needle on Urza Saga. Ah, that's why they did it, because they're representing Stubborn Denial. That's why they didn't attack with this drone. Unfortunately for you, I'm too stupid to realize that. So I just ran that Pithing Needle right into it. Now they're going to swing with everything, right? They keep back the Ornithopter. Yep, okay. I take 6 going to 12. That's a lot of damage. Okay. Yeah, if this Urza Saga was down right now, then I would be able to... Oh man, I'd be able to do a lot of things. I would have Mox Opal coming off this Urza Saga, possibly. I think I need to play Lantern into Shredder. And I think my opponent has the answer to Ensnaring Bridge in hand. So I think I've just got to do this now. I need to draw untapped land and discard. Glad I have those Duresses in instead of Fatal Push right now, I guess. Yeah, mate, you can't activate that ability on Urza Saga, sorry. Pinnacle Emissary. They're now going to search their deck for a card. I suppose I should have activated something here, maybe. Because they can fetch out a Pithing Needle. They didn't. They fetched out a Lava Spur Boots. That's kind of more scary. That's pretty scary, actually. Pinnacle Emissary worked. Alright. Equip Lava Spur Boots. Go to Clown Town. 3, 4, 7, 10. I'm at 12. So I will actually need to draw something good here. And by good, I mean something that is not this Lantern. Jeez, that sucks. If I had just been responsible with that land drop on turn 2. Ooh, Verdant Catacombs. Okay. So now I just need a Slam Bridge. You know what this could allow me to do? If I wanted to, this could allow me to Pop Bobble, attempt to dig for interaction. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to risk it for the biscuit here. But if I have another land on top of my deck, then that's going to suck. Oh, I can't draw that Toxic Deluge. Yeah. I need a 1-drop. Not that 1-drop. not that 1-drop. I got to shuffle with Lantern. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have risked it for the biscuit, huh? Yeah, that was game. Jeez. That was just a cascading series of failures here. I wish I had actually not conceded. Yeah, because I made 3 mistakes this game. First, I didn't play the Urza Saga on turn 2, or didn't give myself the opportunity to find the Urza Saga on turn 2. And second, I think popping the Mishra's Bauble might have been a mistake, because I didn't really process in my head that I didn't have 10 discard spells, I had 6, and that Thought Seizes were actively bad. I should have thought of that. And third is, I should have cast this Ensnaring Bridge anyway, to see if my opponent had a counterspell of some sort, just to confirm what sort of counterspell they would have had. That's okay. That's okay. I think that I am going to keep my configuration here. Oh yeah, I didn't even side in my Duresses. Yeah, that was just a silly play. I shouldn't have popped that Mishra's Bauble. I would like to be on the play, yes. With this hand... yeah, okay, I'll be on the play with this hand. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, take their Pinnacle Emissary, might be good. Blooming Marsh, Thoughtseize them. Wow, they kind of just have a lot here. What do I want to take? I could take the Force of Negation. I could take the Thought Monitor. I could take the Galvanic Blast and go Construct Beatdown. I think I'm going to take the Thought Monitor, actually. But how early will that Thought Monitor come down? If they find a Pinnacle Emissary on the top of their deck, then they go Steam Vents, Q4, and that is actually... Is that enough? for them to Thought Monitor the very next turn? No, they'd be one short. I think I'm going to take the Thought Monitor anyway. They can't do it. They can't fire it off on turn 2. But they could do it on turn 3, potentially. But this Force of Negation is really going to mess with my hand. But if they use Force of Negation, then the Thought Monitor is gone anyway. And if I take the Thought Monitor, then they'd have to draw a blue card and even use Force. Okay, I'll take the Thought Monitor. And I don't think I'm going to use Mishra's Bauble. That was a really interesting little bit of analysis there. I'm not entirely certain that that was correct, but might have been a bit greedy. Maybe having that Force of Negation, quote unquote, stranded in their hand. Oh, they're doing something. They're doing something. They shocked in that Steam Vents. I don't know why. Did they seriously rip Pinnacle Emissary? Okay, they didn't rip Pinnacle Emissary. Oh, jeez, man. Oh, 2 Urza Sagas. Yeah, that's fine. We take those. Just gonna play out my spells here. See if 2 Urza Sagas can get over the finish line with this hand that they've got going on. That Galvanic Blast can theoretically interact with one of my constructs. For that reason, I think that it might actually be incorrect to make constructs here. Although, what else am I doing, you know? Oh, and they don't have the 3rd artifact to make Galvanic Blast have Metalcraft. I think I'm just going to hold. I'm going to hold and I'm going to see what happens. That's a Lantern of Insight. I think I'm going to hold that Lantern. Now, here's the question. Do I want to play my Urza Saga now and grab a Pithing Needle off of this first Urza Saga that's going to pop so that they only get 1 construct? Or do I want to try powering through what they have? If I'm going to power through what they have, then I could Urza Saga now, make a construct. No, I couldn't do that. I'd have to play a Swamp. So if I play a Swamp, then I'm relying on Urza Saga just getting the job done. And if I play Urza Saga, then I'm relying on getting Pithing Needle with Urza Saga specifically. I think I'm going to play the Swamp. Them having 2 unknown cards in hand is kind of scary, though. Spirebluff Canal is down. So now they have to choose between playing Ornithopter, killing my construct, or holding open, or making their own construct here. And I think they're going to choose to make their own. Yeah, my construct's a 3/3. And this allows me to grab what? Oh, they just let me do it. They just let me do it. Yeah, sorry, friend. I'm gonna have my cake and eat it too. That Force of Negation looks lovely in your hand. Oh boy. Now they can do nothing, actually. I'm going to attack them. They didn't even chump it. They cannot create a construct here. I think my opponent just misplayed. Ornithopter, fine. I'm not going to activate this Shredder. Yeah, this Pithing Needle just robbed them of 2 constructs. They grabbed a Mishra's Bauble. How interesting. Ornithopter's down. Ornithopter's down. They are going to activate that now. I think they just have to start pumping my stuff, right? I'm going to have them mill a card here. Now, do I want to activate Mishra's Bauble here? I don't know. I think I will. I'm going to try and draw through this forest. I have this Lantern of Insight in hand, and my opponent would need to have a blue card in hand as their last card in order for that Force of Negation to be live. Uh-oh, I let them have a Thought Monitor. That's not good. Oopsie oopsie, I should have taken that. Why didn't I take that? I let them have a Thought Monitor for no reason. Oh, man. All right, well, that was a very bad thing that I did. Mishra's Bauble, play that Forest, play Lantern of Insight, and swing for lethal. You have to do something about this. They're going to take 1 hit. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and move to the next phase here. I'm kind of glad that I did put the Pithing Needle on Urza Saga here. That really helped out a lot. Oh, well, I suppose one punt deserves another, right? You punted it to me by not making your construct with Urza Saga when I had my Chapter 3 ability on the stack. Oh, they're going face. I don't think that's correct. And then I punted right back by letting you draw that Thought Monitor. Springleaf Drum is fine. They are playing that out immediately. And I think Urza Saga is actually perfectly fine for them to have. Okay, Ornithopter was the unknown card in hand. Okay, Urza Saga and Thoughtcast, of course. Of course. Now, I'm still very much winning this race. Buddy, I can't make a construct. You should have swung there. I don't think it matters if I pop this Mishra's Bauble, so I'm going to do it to try and dig deeper. These attacks are still lethal anyway. I think I'm pretty heavily favored here. I'm going to draw a Pyxis. Verdant Catacombs is whatever, you know? I think I'm just going to grab another Mill Rock here, right? I could grab an Underworld Cookbook and make my constructs big, but they're already lethal. That doesn't really matter. I'm just going to grab a Pyxis. Play that Pyxis out. And I will play my Swamp. Really wishing that I had a discard spell here. That would be lovely. Yeah, my opponent doesn't even have a Pinnacle Emissary in exile. They're just kind of dying to my beats here, right? Swing for lethal twice. Make you chump twice. They chumped with a Memnite, which is going to lower their own clock. Yeah, that's fine. Mishra's Bauble is okay. They cannot create more constructs here. So Thought Cost is down. And they need to hit something really good underneath the Springleaf Drum. They hit a Kappa Cannoneer. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. But is it good enough? I don't think it is. I think if they cast this Kappa Cannoneer, then they die. Mishra's Bauble is down. Springleaf Drum is down. Yeah, so now they'll cast this Kappa Cannoneer. It will be unblockable this turn. And then I just, yeah, kill them. Okay, well, that was fun. You can do combat in Lantern Control, right? Like, people do combat, right? That's a thing that people can do when they're playing Lantern Control is, you know, you don't need an Ensnaring Bridge when you have two 8/8s that are each swinging for lethal. Okay, yeah, that was great. On to round 5. Yeah, I know how to count. Excellent, we are on the draw, no, on the play in round oh my god, we are on the play in round 5 versus Pascu. I would like to not keep this hand. I think I will keep this one. I can grab a Mox Opal off of Saga if I really need to. Now the question is, do I bottom the trophy or the stirrings? And I think I bottom the trophy. Just harder to cast. Okay, conventional wisdom in this particular situation says to fire off Inquisition instead of Lantern on turn 1. Wow. Okay, I'm kind of wishing that I hadn't done that. Take the Kozilek's command. My opponent is playing some Tron nonsense. I mean, they've got mine down. They have Tower in hand. Ooh, that is a good draw. Blooming Marsh was a good draw. Lantern, Pyxis. Don't care about the Sire of 7 Deaths. My opponent's stomping on their upkeep. Wonder what they're doing. Questioning their life choices, perhaps? Playing Sire of 7 Deaths against Lantern Control? They do have an unknown card in hand, which is kind of scary. Eldrazi Temple is down. I do actually want this land, and I do not want to be creating constructs here. I want to find Ensnaring Bridge. I found land. Unfortunate. Uggin's Labyrinth. They will eventually get to 7 mana and just start casting things that will kill me. How quickly can they do that? They have 2 Labyrinths in hand. They have a Tower. They're playing 1 Labyrinth. They're putting a Devourer of Destiny underneath of it. Wow, that's the one card that I actually didn't know about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can start casting those as early as next turn. That means that I have this turn, and I have another turn. What does Sire of 7 Deaths actually say? First Strike, Vig, Menace, Trample, Reach, Lifelink. Wow, that's really hard to deal with in combat. Glad I'm not going to be dealing with it in combat, because I'm going to make my best attempt to find an Ensnaring Bridge. I will simply grab a third... I'm going to grab a Codex Shredder, actually. I'm going to play out of Verdant Catacombs. I'm going to play out this Pyxis. And then I'm going to pass. Urza's power plant. Playing that as their land for turn, interestingly enough. And I believe I will fetch first. Get rid of that shock land. Wow, Underworld Cookbook on top of my deck. And now I'm going to use my draw control here. Okay, that's good. So Ensnaring Bridge is down. I still have a problem, and that is that Ugin Eye of the Storms. Let me think. Tower Labyrinth, that's fine. 2 Sire of 7 Deaths in hand. I think I am going to draw and then cast this Ensnaring Bridge. And I might actually incentivize my opponent to play this Thought-Knot Seer. Urza's Tower. Nope, they just cast an Ugin Eye of the Storms. All right, so this needs an answer very quickly. Gain 3 life and draw a card. I think I can afford to exile here. I don't want them having the instant speed draw. I definitely don't want them having that. That is fine. Thought-Knot Seer hits. And I have 2 turns to find an answer to this Ugin. I'm going to mill myself here with the expectation that I'm going to need to Pyxis on upkeep anyway. Ugh. This would be one of my situations where I need to find an answer. I think I'm going to mill myself. Pyxis is a fine pickup. And that's a Pithing Needle on top of my deck. Okay, so unfortunately that means that whatever is underneath this Devour, they're probably just going to have. I need that to be a okay card for me. It's fine. Okay. This game's wrapped up. Thought-Knot Seer. Yeah, I really just needed to last a couple of turns before this guy ultimated. Sire of 7 Deaths is fine. Don't care about that. Don't care about Ugin's Labyrinth. They didn't imprint anything anyway. All right. Draw this Pithing Needle. Play this Pithing Needle. Name Ugin Eye of the Storms. Very good. I'm going to exile the top card of their deck. That's a Dismember. Yeah, I don't care about that. They can force me to draw a card with this Thought-Knot Seer. I don't really think that's relevant. Ugin's Labyrinth is down, and we are locked up. They put a Devour underneath of that. I will go ahead and just start winning the game now. And save targets on that. Okay. There's this power plant. Yeah. You're gonna mill a card. We're all gonna mill. We're all gonna mill. Don't want you having that expedition map. And I think I will hold this Pithing Needle in hand. Yeah, I'm gonna hold the Pithing Needle in hand. Okay. Their hand doesn't matter anymore. They have a Thought-Knot Seer, I guess. That matters. The rest of it doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep them off of everything. And I will just keep cooking. Yeah, you can't have a Chalice of the Void, sorry. Exile here. Kozilek's Command, no thank you. Dismember, okay, that's fine. Yeah, Mind Stone's no good. Can't have you have that. All his dust is fine. Oh, come on. There we go. Glaring Fleshraker will deal damage to me. Just gonna kind of get rid of it. Yeah, that's fine. And that's the game. Okay, well, that was fun. A good 1-2 punch from the opponent here. Had to solve their attacking creatures, had to solve their Ugin Eye of the Storms. They kept a hand that had a decent amount of lands in it, so I'm not blaming them for that. It's just that, you know, Ensnaring Bridge and Pithing Needle are good cards. Okay, so sideboarding. Inquisition hits Chalice of the Void, Kozilek's Command. They're probably going to be bringing in Trinispheres if they have them. I'm kind of inclined to keep that in. Grafdigger's Cage is bad. And the Underworld Cookbook is bad. So I have 2 options here. I could either bring in Duresses, or I could bring in Assassin's Trophies. Given that I am on the draw, I would be slightly more inclined to bring in Assassin's Trophies. Oh, but I also need that that third Pithing Needle too. That third Pithing Needle actually has to come in right now. Do I side out a smattering of Mishra's Baubles and upgrade those to I don't know, like 2 Duresses and a 3rd Assassin's Trophy, perhaps? I think I can do that. Just really want those trophies, you know? Oh, 4 trophies? Did I miscount something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Do I really want 4 trophies? Does it really matter if they rot in my hand? Not particularly. I really need 4 trophies. 4 trophies is a lot of trophies, but Karn is terrible. All right, I'll run it. And it really doesn't matter that much if they rot in my hand. Oh, 4 trophies. Here we go. This hand has no discard in it. I don't know if I can responsibly keep this. But I fear that if I mulligan this, that I'm just going to start spewing on mulligans. It has an Ensnaring Bridge in hand. My opponent's going to have a difficult time handling a resolved Ensnaring Bridge. I think against my better judgment, I will keep this. But I would not fault you at all for mulliganing this hand and trying to fish to some discard. Notably, my opponent is not playing green Tron, which means that they are not playing Chromatic Spheres. Chromatic Spheres are the card that a Lantern Control player fears the most, because it is a effect that allows the opponent to draw a card at mana ability speed. That is just something that cannot be interacted with in a meaningful way by Lantern Control. Fortunately, Chromatic Sphere has almost completely disappeared from the meta, but it is starting to make a little bit of a comeback here. Wow, what an opener. Thoughtseize, yeah, exactly what I was looking for. Let's go ahead and grab that pesky payoff card right out of their hand. Glaring Fleshraker or Ugin Eye of the Storms. I have the answers for both of these. Urza Saga can Pithing Needle Ugin. Glaring Fleshraker cannot be Pithing Needled. I think I'm going to take the Fleshraker and leave them with Ugin Eye of the Storms and Eldrazi Temple. And I'm going to just let that happen. They're going to fetch with Expedition Map here. Let's see what they grab. Another Eldrazi Temple, huh? All right. Mind Stone was their rip. 1, 2, 3, 5. They're gonna have a difficult time casting Ugin Eye of the Storms. Ooh, that was a Mox Opal. That was a good hit. I'm gonna go ahead and cast that now. Now, if I find a 1-drop artifact, then I will be capable of casting something nice here. Uh-oh, what are they doing? 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 Oh, it's just a Devourer of Destiny. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and exile the top card of everyone's deck. Why not? Do I even want to cast Ensnaring Bridge? I feel like I can make constructs that are bigger than this, you know? I feel like that Blooming Marsh play might have been a mistake. Not sure. If I Assassin's Trophy this Devourer, then I just give them the mana they need to cast Ugin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're currently 1 land away. They need to rip off the top of their deck here. I think I need to go into control mode. I think if I grab a Lantern of Insight off this Urza Saga, then I'm going to be in okay shape. That is an Ugin's Labyrinth. Yeah, they can hardcast an Ugin Eye of the Storms here. And they are choosing to do that. They're going to cycle that into an unknown card. Okay. And now I just... Oh, I drew another Blooming Marsh. You know what that means I can do? I can do this. I can grab a Lantern of Insight off of this. And then they have a Thought-Knot Seer on top of their deck. I think I'm going to play my Blooming Marsh. And I'm going to hold for right now. Setting a draw step stop. I'm going to Assassin's Trophy their Ugin. So now they have Thought-Knot Seer in hand. I'm going to lose this Assassin's Trophy, but I'm going to start having Fomori Vault active as of like a turn or two from now. So that's fine. I just need to fade whatever they drew a turn or so ago. Relic of Progenitus is okay. They are going for the Thought-Knot Seer right now. They're going to hit this Assassin's Trophy. That's going to take my redundancy here. My protection, I mean. Because now if they just luck sack into a Karn the Great Creator, then that's pretty bad for me. Oh, it was an Urza's Tower. Oh, thank goodness. Oh my god. All right, that's fantastic news for me. Okay, so now we get to see the power of Fomori Vault. I am going to activate this Fomori Vault. I am going to discard this Prismatic Vista. I'm gonna go digging. I'm digging. I'm searching right through that luggage. One man's trash, that's another man's come up. Pop your Mind Stones now. Just do it. Okay, Relic of Progenitus. Uh-huh. Yeah, I think I'm going to, get rid of that with my Pyxis here. Nope, you can't have that. Kozilek's Command, really? Can I beat this? I can spin into a discard spell? I'm gonna have to. That Chalice of the Void, though. I can feel this slipping away from me. Now the question is, what do I needle? Could needle Relic of Progenitus? What outs do I think that they have to Ensnaring Bridge? Glaring Fleshraker. That's their out to an Ensnaring Bridge right now. I think I might just... I don't know. I don't know what I name here. I could name Karn the Great Creator. I could name Ugin Eye of the Storms. I could needle the Relic of Progenitus that I know is in their hand, so they can't cycle that. I guess that's fine. Chalice of the Void is a really good rip here, though. They're gonna dig so deep off of this. Yeah, that Chalice of the Void is down. And now I need to hit pretty damn good. I might actually just grab an Urza Saga here if I can find one. And it's all 1-drops. Literally, this entire hand is 1-drops. Yeah, I will take a Pyxis, I guess. And I'm not gonna cast that into a Chalice of the Void. Ugin's Labyrinth. Extreme patience on my opponent's end here. Okay, that's down. I'm going to continue spinning with this Fomori Vault. I'm going to discard the Pyxis, actually. I will grab the Duress. Do I grab the Duress or do I grab Urza Saga? I think I'm gonna grab Urza Saga here. Play that as my land for turn. Yeah, that Inquisition is gonna be okay, I suppose. Just so much patience from my opponent here. 8, 10. So this is gonna be X equals 8 on this Ugin, on this Kozilek's Command. And if this finds anything good, then I am toast. Urza's Power Plant on top of the deck right now. It was a Walking Ballista, huh? That's what they found? Do they have 30 mana to kill me? I mean, I'm gonna need to answer that eventually, right? This is 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16. I don't know if this was good enough, because I just grabbed my third Pithing Needle with this Urza Saga, right? I spin into a Assassin's Trophy, and I just trophy the Ballista. I think I'm gonna exile this Expedition map. Am I? Yeah, I'm gonna exile the Expedition map. I don't want that Inquisition on top of my deck anyway. Second Fomori Vault. But what about second Fomori Vault, they said? Do I want second Fomori Vault? I don't think so. I'm gonna spin it. Yeah, that Pithing Needle's still in my deck. I think I'm gonna grab Profane Tutor. I'm gonna suspend Profane Tutor. Okay, Walking Ballista is down. That was an incredibly bad Kozilek's Command for them, if that's all they had. They've got 2, 4, 6, 8 mana. They can pump their Ballista twice. That was in Urza's Power Plant. Do I even want to take the Stonebrain at this point? Yeah, I mean, not particularly. Okay, let's think about this. I can grab Pithing Needle for Walking Ballista. My Profane Tutor's going to come off Suspend, and it's going to grab an Assassin's Trophy. I think I don't want them having the Stonebrain here. That is an Ugin Eye of the Storms. I will draw this Thoughtseize. I will spin it into something. Do I even needle the Walking Ballista right now? They have 8 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're gonna have 10 mana. They can deal me like 2-ish damage a turn. I could simply grab a Mill Rock. and then hope my Fomori Vault carries. The suspended Profane Tutor is definitely grabbing an Assassin's Trophy next turn. Okay, I really need to think about this because I've got the match win hanging in the balance right here. I think that there is a winning line. I just need to see it. Right now, if I grab a Codex Shredder, then I can take Ugin off the top of their deck and I'm insulated against something else nasty being on top. If that happens, I am effectively at 5. Next turn, I will be effectively at 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I'd have to keep them off of Urza's Mine, right? Because that would change it to 2, 4, 6, 9, 11, 12, 14. That would still not kill me, but I'd have to dig pretty damn deep for a Pithing Needle. Oh man, this is really rough. I have a Shredder in my hand too. I just need to fade the top of their deck right now. I think I need to grab a Millrock here, and then I need to rely on my Profane Tutor coming off Suspend, finding Assassin's Trophy. Yeah, they let that happen. All right, so I'm going to grab Codex Shredder. Oh man, this is so risky. This is so dangerous. I am going to exile the top card of everyone's deck with that floating. Yeah, look at that. No thank you. You may not have another Kozilek's Command. Oh man, but the Karn the Great Creator, huh? I think I need to spin here. And I'm going to discard this Thoughtseize. I think I need to grab Urza's Saga, honestly. Play that as my land for turn. And then I think I need to let them have Karn the Great Creator. Yeah, I'm gonna let them have Karn the Great Creator. Oh, that sucks. They can grab anything out of their sideboard. They can't grab a Haywire Might. I need to let them have it, I think. Then I can trophy something. I would fall to 1 before this Urza Saga can pop and grab that Pithing Needle that I need. All right, here we go. This is what happens when they hit runner runner. It does happen, everybody. I'm gonna fall really low on life here though. Fortunately, this construct token is big enough to block the walking ballista that can attack. Oh, they're gonna kill my lantern? Oh, that's so much more rude. That's really bad for me, actually. I hadn't considered that interaction. Okay, so Karn the Great Creator on top of their deck. And I have a dead card on top of mine. Not that it matters, because this Profane Tutor is coming off Suspend right on time to save me from this horrid situation. Grabbing that Assassin's Trophy that I was waffling about sideboarding in. I am going to Assassin's Trophy, the Karn, the Great Creator, and I'm going to spin Fomori Vault, discarding this Inquisition. There's another Urza Saga. Yeah, I'll grab the Urza Saga here. Okay. And now I need to fade 1 draw. Activate the Pyxis. Activate the Pyxis. Oh my god. Because I didn't check to see if they shuffled or not. But still, like, just in case. All right, fade 1 draw. Fade 1 draw. If I can fade 1 draw, I think I'm okay. Uh-oh. They're tapping mana. Uh-oh, they're tapping mana. Why are they tapping mana? Why are you tapping? Why are you tapping? Why are you tapping? Putting stuff on Walking Ballista? That's fine, I suppose. Okay. Okay. They're just loading up on their Walking Ballista. That's fine, I guess. Duress. Duress. Oh, shoot, I didn't tap for mana. That actually might be game. Okay, so if I grab a Lantern of Insight here, then they'll have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need to keep them off of something that produces 2 mana, but it would protect me against an additional draw. I think that might be worth it. Yeah, I'm really glad I did that. Okay, well, 1, 2, 3, discarding Codex Shredder. Gonna continue to spin here. And I think I will just grab stirrings, I guess. All right. Yeah, I want that off the top of your deck. Thought-Knot-Seer is actually okay. Thought-Knot-Seer is fine. Oh, this is a game and a half, isn't it? All right, so that tells me that they've got Stone Cold nothing right now. Okay, I'm gonna exile that Mind Stone. Urza's Tower. Oh, that's not good. I need to activate Fomori Vault on my upkeep. And I need to find something that's not that Pithing Needle. Assassin's Trophy was really good. Okay. Okay. Pithing Needle is now on the bottom of my deck so that I can grab it with this Urza Saga. And my opponent just lets it go. Pithing Needle on Walking Ballista. Okay. Urza's Tower is fine. Still don't know what that draw was. I'm gonna try and check to see if there's any information in the log. No, I don't know what that one missing card is. I'm just gonna fire off this Assassin's Trophy now, I think. Fails to find. I will mill myself here. I think I want to check that last card. What is a Pyxis? Okay, so I'm going to Fomori Vault. I'm going to discard this Ensnaring Bridge. I'm going to find Thoughtseize. I'm going to cast Thoughtseize, targeting my opponent. Devourer of Destiny, Expedition Map, Relica Progenitus. Taking that Expedition Map. Okay. I have sealed this game. Oh, that was terrifying. Oh my god, I'm just... the heebie-jeebies everywhere. Okay, now I need to not fuck it up. I've got 17 cards to my opponent's 21 cards. I've got 4 minutes and 57 seconds on my clock. I need to be not super aggro milling them, but I do need to be milling them a little bit with this Codex Shredder. I'm not going to activate the Pyxis yet. I want to cast this other Pyxis in my hand. I want to discard, not captivate. I want to suspend this Profane Tutor. Okay, my opponent's going to draw Eldrazi Temple. I am okay with that. Thought-Knot-Seer, I don't care about. I think I have enough of a lock to where I can begin exiling things. So I will go ahead and start working on that. They kept Sire of Seven Deaths in, which is really interesting. I will begin to save targets on this Codex Shredder. Okay, that's great. That's great, that's great, that's great, that's great. I don't care about this. I'm removing that upkeep stop. I need to be very aware of that. Okay. And as long as I don't screw this up, then I have a win. Chalice is irrelevant. Mind Stone, I don't want them having that. Uganai of the Storms, definitely don't want them having that one. I will cast this Profane Tutor. I think I have another Millrock somewhere in my deck. I don't. Grab Lantern, I guess. I have nothing, so I need to be able to win with what I have on the board right now. All right, that's fine. This 3/3 can attack. I have a blocker. Yeah, that Karn the Great Creator is no bueno. I can't let them draw that. All right, target player mills a card. And I need to be F-0'd here. F-0'd, yeah. They can attack if they want to. I'm just gonna eat it. All right, they don't. I think I'm going to not activate Pyxis here. I'm going to play out a land and Lantern. I don't want that popping up anymore. Lantern is an emergency shuffle if I really need it. Okay, F6, F0. Just got to be super efficient with your clicks here. Mill them. Definitely don't want them having that Kozilek's command. Mill that. Urza's power plant is fine. They will get one more draw, and I'm okay with that draw being power plant. Okay, F6. All right, that Urza's power plant was the last card that they get to draw. They have 5 cards in deck. I have 5 cards in mine. I have a Codex Shredder, so I can break parity in case I need to. Okay. I'm gonna reset that upkeep stop. I have time to do that. Okay, I'm actually gonna mill them with Shredder just in case of some shenanigans that I'm not sure what might have happened. play the land. Just in case something happens, I guess. I have the time. If I was even more strapped on time, I wouldn't have played the land, and I would have just exiled with Pyxis, and I wouldn't have set my upkeep stop so that I don't have to forget about that in case the next match happens. Oh man, wow, that was some tight gameplay there, wasn't that? Yeah, I am now 4-1 in a challenge. Oh. This is why you watch me play Lantern instead of playing it yourself, because you want to have your sanity left over for your family and for whatever other things you have. Listen, I'm going mad, okay? This deck is hard to play. I'm gonna go be back for round 6. I'm gonna take a break, maybe get some water or something. All right, see ya. I am on the play in round 6 versus Giovanni. I would like to play first. This hand has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands in it, an Ancient Stirrings and a Mishra's Bauble. Do I really think that Urza Saga is going to carry that hard? No, I don't think so. I will keep this. I will bottom... I think I'm going to bottom the Profane Tutor. I think this hand just has more things that it wants to be doing. I will cast Mishra's Bauble. I will look at the top card of my deck. There's another Mishra's Bauble. Okay, that's weird. I will pay 2 life. Now, here's the question. Do I think that I should cast this other Mishra's Bauble, target myself, on my opponent's upkeep, and then use the double Pyxis to try and really dig into a land? Or do I want to fire off Inquisition of Kozilek right now and then give up on the value from this bauble? I think I need the land. I'm going to play Pyxis. And I'm going to play this other Mishra's Bauble. I am so grateful that I do not have a Profane Tutor in my hand right now. Famous last words. All right, my opponent has fetch shocked for a Steam Vent into a Ragavan. This could be a bad Zoo start. This could be a good Blue-Red Prowess start. I'm gonna look at the top card of my deck, try to find that land. Oh, but that's a Lantern of Insight. Oh, but I really want that. Oh, but I can't afford to have it. I really need that land. Urza Saga, Verdant Catacombs, heavy hitters. That's fantastic. Go ahead and Inquisition my opponent here. It is a bad Zoo start. So they have all of the burn in their hand that they could ever possibly want in their entire life. I think I'm going to take the Kavu here. I think I'm going to take the Kavu. I'm going to play out this Mishra's Bauble. And the reason I took the Kavu is because I know this Ensnaring Bridge is going to get answered. Now please, just don't hit an Inquisition or a Thoughtseize or a Profane Tutor. I guess they can't actually cast that, can they? Until end of turn, you may cast that card. Anytime you may begin to cast this card by putting it onto the stack, I think is how Suspend works. I think they might be actually able to suspend this. I think they might be able to suspend this. If they do, then that's going to be very, very bad for me later. Indatha Tryon. That was an Arid Mesa that they used for that. I'm taking 1, 2, 3... taking 4 from this. Was it Tribal Flames? Oh, I took 5. I see. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Gonna continue digging here. Ooh, that Thoughtseize is really good. All right. Now, my opponent has Leyline Binding, Bolt, and they have a Ragavan in play. I could fetch down to 10, make a Chumper. They just bolt it. I take 2, I go to 8. I could play Stirrings, try to find a Lantern. I don't think that's very good. I'm at effectively 6 anyway here, right? Because I'm going to be taking this hit regardless of what I do. At least the Chump block forces a Lightning Bolt to go to the Construct. So I might actually just try and gain some life by doing that. Swamp. And I will create the Construct here. And they're going to bolt it. They're going to Leyline Binding it. Ooh, that's fantastic. Yeah, yes, please. Do Leyline Bind that. Oh, that's fantastic news for me. I mean, I still need to Thoughtseize them, but they hit a Lantern of Insight. They failed to cast it. That is a second ensnaring bridge. That's not good. Okay, so what do I need to do here? I could, in theory, grab the Underworld Cookbook. I don't think I'm making a construct here. And I could just start gaining life beyond what this Ragavan can do. I think I'm gonna do that. Hopefully this Stirrings hits a land of some type. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the Underworld Cookbook. Do I simply Thoughtseize my opponent here? I don't think I do that quite yet, right? I could land Ensnaring Bridge, but then I just take Bolt, and I die. I think regardless of what I do, I need to hit a land off of this Ancient Stirrings. If I don't hit a land here, I'm going to be really, really sad. That's going to suck major donkey nuts. All right, we hit a Fomori Vault. Any order on that? Play that Fomori Vault. I think I Thoughtseize my opponent here, actually. Jeez, dude. You didn't have to be that aggro. Oh my god. Oh my god. Am I just dead? I think I'm just dead. Because they just bolt, untap, bolt me. Even if I go up to 11, it doesn't matter. Wow, that was... Those are cards that you could have in your hand. That's wild. They had the second Leyline Binding anyway. All right, well, I got outclassed, I think. I think I'm going to... I could take a Lightning Bolt. I could take a Lightning Bolt here. And then I could discard an Ensnaring Bridge to make a food. Oh, yeah, or they could just do that. All right, that's fine. Yep, they could just do that. No, that's fair, that's fair, that's fair. Wow, that was crazy, mate. That was super wild. All right. Well, I got soloed by Ragavan and triple bolt into Tribal Flames. Okay, so how do I want to handle this? What does my sideboarding guide say? My sideboarding guide says that if I'm playing against Zoo, then I want to side out my Grafdigger's Cage and my 2 Needles. And I want to bring in 1 Assassin's Trophy and 2 Duress. How do I feel about this? I think Assassin's Trophy is good because it consistently hits Clarion Conqueror. I don't have a ton of ways to interact with Clarion Conqueror. It will also hit Prismatic Ending, not Prismatic Ending. It'll also hit Leyline Binding. Trophy will also hit Leyline Binding, which I think was my primary concern over playing it over something like Fatal Push. I will keep this. Just like this, I think. I think that's fine. I would like to be on the play. Dang, I just got smushed by that hand, though. That hand has no lands in it. This hand has no black mana in it. But it has Lantern into Bobble Shredder. It has the Profane Tutor. I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna bottom one of the baubles. This hand does not fill me with joy, though. It's got some major problems. Lead on Urza Saga. Pass this Mishra's Bauble. Look at my top card. If it's a land, it's not. Alright, so I need to play out this Codex Shredder now. And I need to mill myself. Would love a land here. That's not a land. Ragavan again, huh? That's not a land. Am I just gonna roll over and die? Oh my god. I might just roll over and die here. I have so much discard in my hand. I need something to go right here. I think I'm gonna take that Consign. I don't think I can afford that right now. If they consign my Urza Saga trigger, that was a land, right? That was a, I think it might have been a Scalding Tarn. Okay. This Ragavan is going to hit me. I'm going to lose my Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, thank goodness, it's a swamp. That's exactly what I wanted. That's all I wanted. Okay. Now I'm going to turn this Urza Saga into a Mox Opal. But they're gonna consign it. No, that's so bad for me. Do I suspend Profane Tutor here? I think I suspend Profane Tutor here. I'm gonna suspend Profane Tutor. They can actually cast that Scion of Draco here. And I have some interaction. Have some interaction that I can have. I don't know. I think I'm gonna let them draw it. Yeah. So I need lands. I need each of these next 2 cards to be lands. I think it might have been a Steam Vents that they drew, actually. I think that might have been one of the 3 cards here. All right, Ragavan's gonna hit me. I'm gonna lose the Pyxis. It's another swamp. Let's go. Love that for me. And they cast my Pyxis, and they're gonna use it to exile the top card of my deck, aren't they? They are. It's a Verdant Catacombs. That's fine. Okay. 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 Profane Tutor is still on suspend. I'm going to draw this Verdant Catacombs. Now, I need to Thought Seize my opponent, because if they have Leyline Binding, Inquisition is not going to cut it. They are going to stub this. Oops. I need to fetch here. I think I have to fetch Overgrown Tomb, actually, and I need to pay the 2 life. And I just need to beg it's not Leyline Binding. Okay, it's Flage and Tribal Flames. I'm gonna be at 1. I'm gonna be at 1 and I'm gonna lose my cookbook. After everything is said and done, after Flage hits. Oh, geez, dude. Each player exiles the top card of their deck. All right, that's fine. Mountain for them. Played the mountain. I'm gonna take this hit. Fall to 7. Flage is going to put me at 4. I can theoretically keep them off of white lands to make it so that... Oh no, I can't do that. They have treasure tokens. All right, so I need to rip runners here. I need this Profane Tutor to come off suspend. I need it to grab an Ensnaring Bridge. Like, that's just a given. That just needs to happen. And then I need any land that does not hurt me to use, like an Urza Saga. And now I can play this land. I can play Ensnaring Bridge. And now we have a shot at victory. A small shot at victory. Oh my god. See, like I said, small shot at victory. All right. Yeah, if my opponent just top decks a Wrath of the Skies right there, then that's not good. Someone is mowing the lawn outside. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Please just be a Flage. For the love of God, please just be a Flage. Please just be Flage. Please just be Flage. No lightning bolts, no tribal flames. Just Flage, please. Oh. Damn it. All right. Well, I feel like I fought my best in that one. I feel like I fought my best. But that was brutal. My opponent just drawing exactly what they needed in game 1 and me not just being able to do anything about it. I could have mulliganed to 5 in this game. I could have mulliganed to 5. I don't know if that was correct to do, but it was a choice that I had. I chose not to. I'm only kind of regretting it. I'm kind of regretting it. What would I have drawn? Would that have been relevant? It doesn't matter. MTGO's not telling me. Okay, wow, that was fun. On to round 7, yeah? Is there a round 7? There's a round 7, right? I guess you'll find out in just a second, won't you? All right, we are on the play versus WeareVenom for this upcoming round. This isn't a fantastic hand. I think I'm gonna keep it though. Just wishing I had any sort of consistency in this hand, you know? Do I lead on Lantern or do I need on Thoughtseize? I'm not really doing anything with Lantern. I think I will lead on Thoughtseize. Ugh. It's Amulet Titan. Of course it's Amulet Titan. Of course it's Amulet Titan. Alright, what am I gonna do with this hand? The Scape Shift. What does Scape Shift do? Not too terribly much right now. I think the spelunking is a problem. I really want another discard spell. I might take the spelunking and make Scapeshift a later problem. Oh my god, they ripped the Amulet of Vigor. Of course they did. Ah, and I drew an Inquisition. Oh man, that would have been great. I did things out of order. That is an Aftermath Analyst. I think I'm gonna take their Explore. They're gonna do some shenanigans here. This creature enters, mill 4 cards. Alright. Analyst is down. Forest is down. Vestige is down. Do I have the opportunity to create a construct here, or do I need to just slam Pithing Needle on Analyst right now? I think I need Pithing Needle on Analyst, unfortunately. Yeah, they could have activated it. And then this Urza Saga can grab another Pithing Needle, and then I try to beat them to death, right? If that even works. I know that they have access to 5 mana right now, and I think Profane Tutor is too slow. So they are electing to play the Gruul Turf, bounce it back to their hand. Let's Scapeshift, sacrificing 2 lands. They're gonna try and win here, aren't they? They saw a line. Oh my god, they saw a line. Well, I don't think that there was a way for me to play around this, was there? Yeah, they're gonna do something here. They're just gonna sacrifice both their lands. They're gonna Pithing Needle, hit my Pithing Needle with the Boseiju in hand, and then they're gonna just go ham. I do wish to use the ability here. I'm gonna grab another swamp, I guess. Oh boy. Alright. Yeah, I think they've got the loop here. All because I didn't take that Scapeshift when I could have. Yeah, this doesn't matter anymore. It is, of course, still correct to make them play through it. We're in a big tournament. The clock is part of the game right now. They have a system, look at that. Alright, so here they're gonna grab Urza's Cave, they're gonna cycle it. They already have 4 card types in their graveyard. They grabbed a Talaria West. Talaria West is going to grab probably Summoner's Pact. Summoner's Pact is going to grab Amulet, grab the Titan. Titan is going to come down, do a whole bunch of other shenanigans. Yeah, I don't know if I stood a chance in this game. I think if I had used Thoughtseize to grab Scapeshift, then I would have been okay. They kind of just ripped double Amulet though. But I had the Lantern and I didn't sacrifice it. Kind of wishing I had sideboard Blood Moons. Although I suppose that Ashiok is going to be just as fine here, maybe? Alright, they made enough Amulet, They made enough Titans to kill me, and now they're not waffling about anymore. Very good. Alright, well, let's go ahead and begin sideboarding, I suppose. So my sideboard guide here says to side out my Grafdigger's Cage, my Underworld Cookbook. Grafdigger's Cage has been sided out a lot in this challenge. And all 4 of my Inquisitions, bringing in 2 Assassin's Trophies, 1 Pithing Needle, and 3 Ashiok. Now, Ashiok is the card that I selected specifically to beat Amulet Titan. I don't know how well that's going to work. We'll find out, I suppose, won't we? Okay, now we know what we're playing against. Yeah, I'll keep this. This is a good hand. Ashiok is very difficult for them to handle. Turn 1, I play Thoughtseize. Turn 2, I play Lantern Pyxis. And then turn 3, hopefully, I slam an Ashiok. I have the second Thoughtseize. Ashiok shuts off Scapeshift and Primetime. I think I'm going to take the Amulet of Vigor here, actually. I'm going to encourage them to play out Amulet, to play out Urza Saga on turn 1. Okay, that's good. It's going to be quite a bit more difficult for them to do a thing that they want to do. Go ahead and play this Lantern. I think I will fetch a basic swamp with this Prismatic Vista. That is a Blooming Marsh. That's a good pickup for me. I'll go ahead and cast my Codex Shredder, I think. Spelunking. I actually don't care about this Summoner's Pact. Ooh, Shifting Woodland as the card that I didn't know about. How relevant is that? Yeah, that's fine, actually, I think. Okay, everything is good. All right, now we play our powerful Hate Rock here, and we just keep it at high loyalty. And this Ashiok is shutting off Scapeshift, Primetime, Urza Saga, and Summoner's Pact all at once. They just did nothing. And it shuts off this Talaria West. Gruul Turf is down. Shifting Woodland is in hand now. And I think I'm going to beat them to death with Urza Saga constructs. I could take Primetime. What does that actually accomplish, though? Not really that much. I think I'm going to just take a Spelunking, slow them down enough to where my other stuff can handle it. Talaria West in their hand. Spelunking is down. Forest is down. Gruul Turf is in hand. It's a good thing I've got this hand tracker, man. Jeez. They've got 3 card types in their graveyard right now. Artifact, Enchantment, and Land. Okay, that's fine. It means I can't copy anything. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and play out this Lantern of Insight. I'm gonna continue just keeping Ashiok at full loyalty. I don't need to mill them with it right now. Crumbling Vestige. Gruul Turf is their land for turn. They're going to return a land they control to their hand. They returned Forest. And they're going to cast a Primetime here. But I'm going to make 2 very large constructs. I'm going to grab a Pyxis. I will play this Overgrown Tomb. And do they have a way of removing one of my constructs? Scapeshift, Summoner's Pact, Talaria West, Crumbling Vestige, Forest? No, they don't. I'm going to attack with this guy. Okay. I think we've got this one in the bag. My opponent is searching for an out. I don't think they have one. They might be trying to rely on something using this Shifting Woodland here. I don't think that matters that much. I am going to cast this Ancient Stirrings. Am I going to cast the Ancient Stirrings? I'm actually not going to cast the Ancient Stirrings. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to swing with everything, and I'm going to swing for lethal. They're going to chump with Primeval Titan. I am now going to exile their graveyard, shut off that Shifting Woodland. I will now cast Ancient Stirrings. Try to find, I don't know, something, I guess. But it doesn't matter. They wrapped it up. Okay. Ashiok Dream Render. If you want to beat Amulet Titan, that's how you do it, apparently. It just shut off their whole hand. Okay, next we are going to not sideboard, actually, because I think that was really good. I could see an argument for bringing in Duresses, I suppose. More so on the play than when you're on the draw. I think I'm just going to keep it as is. Assassin's Trophy could disrupt them mid-combo, perhaps. But yeah, that was a pretty good dismantling. I don't think we're going to get as lucky in this game. Yeah, no, I can't keep this. If even one of these was a black producing land, I would really strongly consider it. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. This is a much better hand. Gonna get rid of the Shredder. Urza Saga. Into Amulet, that's a really good start. Blooming Marsh into Thought Thieves for me. Just trying to slow them down just a little bit. Now this is an interesting. I think I take 6 here. Seiju isn't actually all that relevant right now. Yeah, I'm gonna take 6. I suppose 6 is a reason to keep your Grafdigger's Cages in the main deck. But I don't know. I don't think it's really that good. Amulet of Vigor down. Second Urza Saga, huh? That's concerning. I think here I just... Mori Vault into Profane Tutor, though, right? They have all of these amulets, but nothing to really do with it right now. They're not... I guess they could make one construct here. Oh, they're resetting their Urza Saga. Oh, they're doing something nasty here. They're cycling into Spelunking. Uh-huh. Yeah, they're doing something nasty here. Wow, construct into having haste, huh? Yeah, you got it. I don't think they can make another one, though. That is a Lantern of Insight. I will play that off of this Fomori Vault. And I think I'm going to play the Bloodstained Mire into Pithing Needle. And I'm going to choose Boseiju Who Endures. No, they have a Gruul Turf in hand. Spelunking, Gruul Turf. They grabbed another Amulet. Gruul Turf is coming back into hand. That Gruul Turf is back in hand now. Okay, so I don't know if this is being done in the correct order is the problem for them, because I think they might be looking at this Tolaria West on top of their deck and trying to use it to transmute something. But they need blue mana to do that. And the only source of blue mana that they have right now is that same Tolaria West. They would need a way to play 2 lands in a turn, which these Spelunkings do not allow them to do. This is really interesting, though. I think I'm just going to let them play out what they're doing, and then we will go from there. Well, Urza's Cave is really good. They put the Tolaria West into play. I'm going to fall to 9. I'm going to fall to 9. Now, here's my concern. This construct is now large enough to where it can solo an Ashiok in a single turn. So I need to get either an Ensnaring Bridge or some other answer to this construct down first. I have this Profane Tutor that's coming off Suspend right on time. But what do I want to do with it, huh? What do I want to do with it indeed? If they draw that Urza's Cave, what can they do? They can search for an Otawara and then bounce it with the Gruul Turf in their hand. That's pretty bad. If I grab an Ensnaring Bridge here, then I would hopefully want to also draw a Pithing Needle or that Urza's Cave on top of their deck. I suppose a Mill Rock would help as well. So the question is, do I grab Ensnaring Bridge, try to shut off attacks from this construct, and then attempt to control what they do after this? Or do I grab Assassin's Trophy to deal with the construct, and then maybe like top deck like a Mox Opal exactly or something? I think I'm going to grab Ensnaring Bridge. Codex Shredder was a really good pickup. That's a good pickup. I'll take a Codex Shredder. All right. Swamp. Play that. Play Shredder. Play Bridge. They have 3 different creature types in their graveyard right now. I don't think I can allow them to draw this Urza's Cave. I think I just need them to whiff. That is not a whiff. Oh, that is not a whiff. Oh, that is not a whiff. Oh, that's not a whiff. That is definitely, most certainly, absolutely not a whiff. Shuffle. I think that would just kill me on the spot, right? Because what they would do is, oh my god, you are gotta be kidding me. Summoner's Pact off the top. All right. This is what they would do with the Aftermath Analyst, is they would just use this Gruul Turf trick. They would untap their Gruul Turf many, many times. They would mill a bunch of cards, they'd return everything, and then they would use Urza's Cave to find like a Lotus Field or something like that, and then they would just go infinite. I think this might be game though. Surely they have some way to do something like this. Yeah, Gruul Turf is down, Tolaria West is in hand. They can go grab like a Simic Growth Chamber and something else. Simic Growth Chamber, Otawara maybe. I think they just have a lot of routes to victory here. Lotus Field and Mirror Pool, that's worse. That's way worse. That one construct token really went coast to coast here. Yeah, they're just gonna go and do everything now, I think. Instant, enchantment, land, creature. Yeah, they got 4 types. This is just the Aftermath Analyst loop. The question is, do I think this would have gone any different if I had searched for an Assassin's Trophy? I don't know.
just needed a chump blocker for like one turn. I needed that construct to not be a 5/5. Even a 4/4 construct would have been fine. Just, I needed something to allow me to cast this Ashiok and make it so it didn't immediately die to construct. Now it's just a matter of if they can win a game in 6 minutes, which I definitely think they can. But dang, that really sucks. They ripped 3 times in a row. They had the Urza's Cave on top of their deck. I don't think I could have allowed them to have that. And now they're just going to swing for lethal, of course. I could have possibly allowed them to have the Urza's Cave. I don't know if that would have made anything different, though. Yeah, that's game. Okay, and my opponent has won the match. That leaves us with a 4-3 record. I highly doubt that there's going to be another round, right? Wow. I just felt like I was a little bit behind on that one. Like, if I had been on the play, maybe, if that construct hadn't been a 5/5, I would have been in a much better shape. But it wasn't. It just didn't work out that way, and I lost because of it. Okay, so I ended up getting 25th out of, I think, 84 participants. Not bad for a first run. I think the deck functioned more or less perfectly fine. I don't think that I would change a single thing about the 60 at the very least. For the sideboard, I don't think I would change anything either. I didn't end up using the Fatal Push or the Torpor Orbs, so I'm gonna have to wait until next time to address those. You know, I kind of take that back, actually. We cited a Grafdigger's Cage a lot in this league, didn't we? Maybe that would be a spot that we could look at replacing. I'm not sure, though. Grafdigger's Cage is just so nice, but I might just be hanging on to it for no reason. No idea about that. I think that my play could have been a little bit tighter. I think that if I had not made some mistakes, then I might have been able to take some games and some matches that I otherwise lost. I don't know. But yeah, I had a lot of fun playing this. I will definitely be back in it the next time that I can be, of course. Hopefully with my next tournament, I will have a slightly better result for it.
This program is made possible by your view, like, and comment, the support of my wife and son, and by contributions to the Fate Seal MTG Patreon from viewers like you. Thank you.